0.
Hi there. My name is John Ito, and this is Go Forward. In today's conversation, I have with me Ms. Jaketa. Ms. Jaketa, nice to meet you. How you doing?
I am good, John. Glad to be here with you. How are you?
Awesome. We're doing awesome. Just this
Oh,
crazy pandemic is shaking the whole place.
that's right. But you know what? God is going to get us through it, no
God
matter what.
is in control. That's
God is
one thing that I
in
know. God is in control. And no matter what, we have to talk about money.
Yes, yes. Money is important,
Very, very
especially around
important.
this time. Our
Yeah.
livelihood is being impacted for sure due to the pandemic. So,
Right, right. So for those who are watching, Ms. Jakita is a financial coach and an educator. She works with Trans-America. So I'm not going to go to the deep of her history, but I am just going to ask her in a short while to tell us about herself. But the reason why we have this conversation is because so many people want to know how to improve their savings, how to increase their financial retirement income, ways to build their legacies of financial wealth. And many of us want to learn how to build strategies in ways to help us avoid that kind of huge principle. So many things that people are looking for. I guess we're going to hear from you today. And I'm so grateful. I'm so happy to have you on in this program today. So can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
sure, I'd be happy to. Well, first of all, John, thank you so very much for just doing this for the community. It means so much. The different types of topics that you have that you're going to share with the community.
Right.
Learning is key, and knowledge, having that knowledge is very important for us to, continue on with our journey, whatever aspects that we're in
Right.
at this particular time. So thank you for opening up, your thoughts, and I'm grateful that the Lord has put up on your heart to
Thank
open
you
these
too.
topics up to the community. They're very, very well needed. Um,
Very,
so,
very needed.
so yeah, so thank you. So, yeah, I have been with Transamerica, as John had mentioned before. Advisors for about 3 years. I'm very excited and grateful. I'm grateful because it allows me the opportunity to help individuals, families, and even small businesses reach financial goals, to meet their goals and dreams. Being a
Right.
coach, being an educator, is a service and a passion of mine that the Lord has granted, upon me. And so I'm so grateful for that.
Good.
Our mission as a firm is to leave no families behind, no matter what, when it comes to figuring out their financial picture, for their future. So
Right.
I'm on a crusade. I'm on a crusade to stomp out financial illiteracy completely. I've been in the industry for over 25 years. It is most definitely a passion
Mm.
for me. And my expertise and experience in the industry has allowed me the opportunity to plan, have those planned offensive and defensive strategies for individuals and families to help them meet their goals when it
Right.
comes to their financial dreams. So
Right.
that's what I do. Love to sit down with families and just kind of figure out, what their goals are, and help. And I'm hoping that I can help them, reach those particular those good strategies and put them in place so they'll be on the
Right.
right track. Mhm.
Right. And I'm not cutting you short, but the reason why I really want to hear from you is because you have also worked with, there's a company you called Fortune 500 Investment.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you work with them for like 21 years.
Right.
And that's where you got your retirement, right?
Right. Right.
So
That's where I started.
this is a huge company. I mean, that is just a warm heart information for someone who really want to get that deep information in ways to muscle up their finances.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we,
Exactly.
Yeah, so just tell us everything that you can tell us.
Sure, exactly. Well, as you can see, I'll start out with a couple of slides. We'll go through and talk about the simple financial concepts that a lot of people really need some clarity on, or just not even aware of those simple financial concepts. And
Right.
so I love this
Mm.
particular class. It's called the How Money Works class. It's a master class. It's a part 1 and part 2. But of course, we don't have all the time in the world to go through the complete, classes, but at least some of them, just kind of hit the major topics, that we can kind of talk about and help you understand, right?
Right.
So this is really where you learn to stop being a sucker when it comes to your money. Again,
Right.
my name is Jaketa, and I am your financial educator, your coach, for the next half hour. So financial literacy really begins here. Okay, so as I go through my discussion with you, presentation, I'm just going to kind of go through a couple of slides, and just forgive me if I'm going to pass through a number of them. Okay, so just bear with me.
Yeah,
And
right.
right, exactly. So
You have control, so keep going.
have control. All righty. And John, if you have any questions, feel free to hop
Ask.
in and ask. Okay. And
Right.
on your screen, you should see think like a sucker, the wealthy, and with the sucker being slashed out, right? So,
Right.
so here, our first choice you have is to begin the course. Begin this course is just really simple. Will you choose the mindset of being a sucker, or will you learn to think like the wealthy, right? My goal is to help you think like the wealthy. It is a choice, right? The fact
Right.
that you joined this class with me today is a sign that you're on track. You're on the right track. So here's the great news. You don't have to be wealthy to think like the wealthy, right?
Right.
You only need the knowledge. This is your opportunity to gain that knowledge and to have that mindset that you need to have to gain that knowledge.
Exactly, because some people thought that maybe they need to have a very good job, they need to have huge money somewhere before they can really start improving their finances, which is different from what you just said.
Exactly. You just have to think differently when it comes to money and understand
Right.
how money works, right? And this is a lovely quote that I really love to quote when I'm giving these classes, and it's by Benjamin Franklin. It's an investment in knowledge pays the best interest, right? So we
Right.
salute you. I mean, I salute you, John, for opening up your doors and allowing me to come in to spend some really good, valuable time. And hopefully you'll learn some good, valuable skills that will help you move forward in your financial thinking.
We need it.
Right, exactly. All right. So I'm going to move to slide 9 here. So, and talk about our agenda. So John, today we're not going to focus on all of these. We're just going to focus on a few, and that is the power of compound interest,
Right.
the time value of money, and the rule of 72. Okay.
Right.
So here, John, we today we all know that how devastating a global medical crisis can be. Not knowing about money is really an economic version of that global crisis, and it affects over 5 billion people in the world who are considered illiterate when it comes to their money. The
Right.
financial devastation has caused individuals all over the world to to be really uninformed and really uninformed and just don't know that knowledge. And that's when it comes to financial illiteracy. The financial industry won't be happy. We're committed to making this change, making sure everyone is educated properly.
Right.
Okay. If this was 1920, there would still be millions of adults in our nation who really could not read, right? Public education over the last 100 years have changed and it has evolved. The How Money Works
Mm.
Masterclass is public education in financial literacy. With this particular course, you will learn the building blocks to earn, spend, save, and invest. Invest properly. Just
Right.
like you're learning to read, when you know how money works, really works, it changes how your financial story ends at the end.
Right.
So here's a recent study. You know, when you heard me say over 5 billion people in the world are considered financially illiterate, you probably wondered, really, what does that mean? It references the shocking results of a recent global study. In the study, only 30%
Wow.
of people in the world are considered financially literate.
Whoa. That's shocking.
It is shocking. The study used a simple money quiz to reveal that the vast majority of people from countries all over the world were unable to correctly answer 3 simple questions about money. This class will really teach you the answers to those particular questions and many more, as we go through our discussion here. It's the reason I teach this course, and hopefully it's why you're here. It is a passion of mine to stomp out this financial illiteracy that we have in our country. Too many
Right.
people really do not understand the concepts and how money works.
Right.
I'm just going to skip over a few other questions or slides here. Okay. So only 21 states make you take one course on money in high school, which is really kind of unfortunate and really sad. And of
Mm.
those that do, they only just kind of scratch the surface with topics like balancing a checkbook. Okay. And I'm pretty sure, John,
Wow.
when you were in school, you knew how to balance a checkbook,
Right.
right? Um, but do you really think, John, that's enough?
No, no,
Balancing a
no.
checkbook is not going to get you there, right?
Right.
What percentage of schools teach sex education, lacrosse, even broadcast journalism? You know, almost 50 out of 50 teach those particular topics.
Wow.
And we really can't make this stuff up. It makes no sense to me either.
Right. Hmm.
I'm going to skip on to the power of compounding interest. And John, do you have any
Right.
questions?
Yeah. I'm just puzzled by um hear from you how you digest this information that nobody would ever know, and people just live in a world where they just operate by doubt and without having the real knowledge. Like you said, only 30% of people in the world, not just in America,
In the world.
who are financial literate.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is something that should be frightening.
Right.
So I guess people really need that knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
because there's no way that you can pass through the back door to survive your finances without having that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something worth to know.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's
Right.
really kind of sad that, we come out of school and we really don't know, how to manage our debt, how to manage that appropriately. You know,
Right.
I know, if you were, if I were, maybe you resonated with this. I know as soon as I graduated from college, there were like so many different credit card companies that were just right there in front of us as we were walking the stage and
I
getting on the
know.
stage, just throwing out credit cards to us,
I
right?
know.
We did not have a clue, and unfortunately, because I knew how to balance my checkbook coming out of high school, coming out of college, but
Right.
my goodness, you mean I have this card here and I can just go and get whatever I want, you know? Oh yeah, sure. You have a limit of about $5,000. But oh, really? There goes the snowball effect of that credit card debt, you know?
Right.
And so, and so it is my passion to make sure that we kind of help individuals really manage that debt effectively. Mm.
And do you think those who, I also have a student loan. So do you think those who have student loan, they're going to benefit from something that you're going to say here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, because like me, I feel like to start paying my student loan now, I keep like, how am I going to start? And where am I going to end? So, but I think there's a way that we can do that, and which is not going to be heavy on us, right? There's a way to do that. And
Yeah.
I think if somebody follow with you and then have this knowledge, I think it's going to benefit whosoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Education, the education debt is it's it's out there. That a lot of people are very, very, very stressed behind their college debt. And it's just amazing how much debt that Americans are in right now. Non-Americans are in right now. It's just a
Right,
debt, and it's very painful. It is a debt that we do have to pay, and unfortunately it could be there for our lifetime. But with me, I truly try to help my clients manage that debt appropriately. So, we do sit down and we talk about those things as a family to try to figure out how we can get you out of that debt and manage that debt, appropriately. So absolutely.
exactly. Yeah, I'm not cutting you short, but this is important for the guys, the folks out there, so that they listen, they understand. I do home care nursing. I was taking care of a patient who said, I am still paying my student loan up to now. You know what? The interest just keep climbing without me knowing.
Yeah, yeah. It never it
And
it never stops. It
it
keeps
never
going.
stopped. And I feel like that is because people do not have the knowledge in how to grow finances,
Mm-hmm,
how
mm-hmm.
to fight these things. So I'm really happy that you mentioned this in our discussion.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, let's talk about the power of compounding interest. So let's spend a few minutes here learning about the power of compounding interest. Albert Einstein said this was the most powerful force he had ever discovered. And Albert Einstein, you know who he is. He's the eighth
Right,
wonder of the genius of the world, right?
right,
um, so compounding is the interest that interest can earn in addition to the interest your savings can earn, right? um,
right,
our interest on or interest on interest, as Zoe puts it here, compound interest leverages the power of exponential growth. Okay, so the power of compounding interest refers to the growth potential of money over time by leveraging the magic of compounding, which is interest
right,
paid on the sum of deposits plus all interest previously paid. So it's constantly rolling, compounding for you on and on and on to help
right,
you build that wealth that you need and over a period of time. Okay.
right.
So this is an amazing story. I just want to kind of share this particular story with you, John. Um,
Okay.
this amazing story from the book is and by the way, let me share with you. I meant to share with you. This is the How Money
Right.
Works book, right?
Oh,
Okay. And this is the information really that I'm gathering that I'm sharing with you today.
is
Okay.
this something people can buy like online?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And it's very, I think it may be like about a couple of dollars, maybe $2 or $3, perhaps maybe, but you can find it on Amazon. I
Amazon.
can order it for you. You can call me and I can order some for you.
All
Um,
right.
but it's a very, very quick read. It's about 45 minutes long, but it's really good, powerful information. Really, the information that I'm sharing with you today is really all in this book. And
Oh,
that's where
wow.
the money, the master class has generated from. but the story about John Rockefeller is inside that money, How Money Works book. Okay.
Right.
Of course, one of America's self-made billionaires, as you know. I'll tell you the short version. Rockefeller, he spent $50. Excuse me. Rockefeller lent $50 to a farmer at 7% when he was a boy. 7% interest. He earned $3.50 in interest in addition to getting the amount he lent back. During the same time, he earned $1.12 digging potatoes for 3 days.
Wow.
He looked at the $1.12 he earned from the back-breaking work versus the $3.50 his money earned for him when he lent
Hmm.
that $50. So that's when he decided to make his money work harder than he ever could work. So the important piece here is you want to have your money working for you and not the opposite.
Right. Right.
So this is a lesson, to never forget. You decide you work for your money limited by time, or your
Right.
money actually works for you around the clock without limit and without you. That's the power of compounding interest. You want to make sure you're in a spot to where your money is working for you night over night, 24/7, and where you're not working.
And that's a secret.
That's a secret.
That's a secret. That's something I didn't know before.
Yep.
And if you look at the interest of what you just explained, you see that it looks small, but it's not small. I mean, within 3 days, you have like an interest of $1.12,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and you think that is small. By the time it goes to a month,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
that's a huge amount.
Yeah. Now he was just talking about $50, right? He was just talking about his own little $50,
Right.
that he had earned, compounded interest. Now, what do you think about if have $100 or $200? What that will look like. So the gist here is making sure that you have your assets in a place where it's compounding for you, it's growing for you, no matter what. Okay. So
Right.
good observation. Okay. Rockefeller went on to say he had ways of making money most people had no idea about. We're about to let you know in on those little secrets. Okay. Simple interest versus compound interest. You see that there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the difference between simple and compounded interest is substantial, right? Once one stays the same, and one grows and grows and grows, right? So if you take a look at the simple interest here, the farmer would only pay interest on the original loan amounts every single year.
Right.
That's simple interest. But if you take a look at the compounding interest here, every year that farmer would owe Rockefeller interest on both the original amounts of the loan and all the interest that had occurred from previous years. So that's compounding. You're getting interest on top of interest year over
Right.
year over year.
Hmm.
I know, right?
Right.
But a lot of people don't think, like a lot of people don't think about that, those kind of things, simple versus, compounding interest.
Compound interest. Right.
Mm-hmm. So again, so you see the difference. This particular example. We'll look at two examples of $1,500 growing at 9% over 50 years.
Mm.
Okay. So with simple interest, the $1,500 grows to $8,250. You see that there?
Right.
Using simple interest. Okay.
Right.
Not much over a long period of time. That's from year 1 up to year 50.
50.
Right? So that's not going to do you any good. That means that your money's not working for you at all with
Right.
simple interest. Okay. Now, when we take the compounding interest, right? So when with compound interest, the $1,500 grows to 132, almost $133,000, the
50.
same number of years. That's 16 times more money. Notice how
Mhm.
the curve, here on the graph gets steeper in the later years as the power of compounding really, really starts to take off.
Right.
Okay, so the chart really represents a 50-year, again, it represents a 50-year timeline. 9% annual interest is paid on the $1,500, the original loan amount, compounded monthly, and then growth increases more and more rapidly as the interest is compounding.
Wow.
So Mr. Einstein also said, compound interest is the greatest mathematical discovery of all times. He obviously thought a lot about this particular, quote, and he put the power of compounding interest right up there with, E equals MC square almost, right? Or MC.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So compounding interest is something that you want to pay attention to when you are investing your money, whether it's on a short-term, mid-term, or long-term basis.
Right.
Okay.
And that is in the bank, right?
That's in the bank. That's in your own individual investments that you may
In your
have.
own investment. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't involve anything like buying a stock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, buying a stock as well. Buying stocks, buying bonds. That rate of return that you're getting is compounding for you. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Um, all right. So John, before we move forward on the time value of money, um, did you have any particular questions for me before we take a break?
Well, this is so important. So when you talk to, when you counsel folks out there, I know that you talk to small businesses about all these. So what is the difference for a small business and compared to an individual that want to increase their saving or understand ways in how to grow money?
Mm-hmm.
So, where is that difference?
Yeah, the difference is really getting on a plan. Getting a plan for that small business, whether that small business have employees or not. You know, getting
Mhm.
getting them on track of saving for their future. And that could be
Right.
establishing a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, buying individual stocks or bonds, or just helping them try to come up with a plan of action for building emergency savings. Okay. So
Right.
those small businesses may want to do the same thing for their employees, right? And so if that is the case, then there are simple, individual IRAs that employer can add to their employees, IRA on their behalf.
Right. So for someone who has no idea, who got no knowledge, and the person is interested in increasing his saving and his retirement benefit and all those things, what is the first step? What do they need to do? And I know that maybe they have to set a goal to
Mhm,
see if they can achieve that goal.
mhm, mhm.
So what do they have to do first? And in order to achieve that goal, what do they have to
Did you?
get behind their head?
Yeah, they can speak with an educator like myself, right? An advisor like myself. Now, I don't charge anything to sit down with a family. There's no cost. All of
I
my
know.
consultation is complimentary, right? And
Right.
so once we sit down and we talk through, what the dreams, what the goals are, then we'll come up with some strategies. And then, I'll come back with some recommendations to let them know where we can start. If we need to start with just your local bank, just adding $10, adding $20 into your savings account, let's start there.
Right.
The key is starting now and not later. Okay. And then once you get used to saving on a regular basis in your bank account, then let's start talking about maybe investments, going into something that provides a little bit higher interest rate, a little bit higher rate of return, that's going to really start compounding your wealth very, very fast, and to where your funds can start doubling for you so that you can meet your goals at retirement age.
Right. And it's the same thing for someone who has a small business.
Exactly. Oh yeah, yeah. It's still a plan. You have to have a plan in place, right? So in order for
Right.
you to know where you want to go, you need to know what you need to do now, to get there. Okay.
Exactly.
So if you know that, in 5 years I need to, help my daughter with her wedding, right? Well, then
Right.
what do you, and you know what that budget is? Well, that budget could be like 5,000, it could be 10,000, whatever the case may be. So if you know that budget, then you need to know what you need to do now to get to that particular point. You don't want to
Right.
wait until the last year to figure out, oh my God, I don't have money. Where am I going to get this money? Am I going to charge it? No,
Right.
we don't want you to do that. We don't want you to go in debt. We want you to plan now so that you can be prepared for that expense, for that.
Exactly. You remember when you came to our home and you were talking about the same thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was my question too. I thought like,
Yeah.
where are we going to start? Where's the money? So the fear was there, but I really want to thank you because that really helped us, and we were able to save a reasonable amount of money within that time until when we bought our first home.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
right. So without that knowledge, we couldn't have buy our home.
Right. And thank God for that. Thank
Yeah,
God you and Antoinette were open, because a lot of times people are pretty close-minded. Um, you know, finances is a taboo for a lot of people. They don't want to open, and they don't want to be honest with their coach or their advisor. But thank goodness, thank God that you guys were open and that you had a goal. You knew where you wanted to go. What can
exactly.
you do today to get to that particular point? So congratulations on you for getting your new home, your first home.
Thank you, thank you. That was due to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So do you want us to take a break?
Mhm. Sure, we can take a break, a
Yeah,
few
we can take a
break.
break.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So those who are watching, we're going to come back. We have a second part of this video, and I guess the second part is going to round up, and we're going to have the overall idea in how to do this. So it's the time value of money. So thank you so much. Stay tuned.